Well, I think the only thing we've learned in this wild 2025 season where we haven't been able to really learn anything or pin anything down is that I just really suck at making Thursday night football picks. And welcome everybody to the Friday forecast here on Stay Tuned Sports. It's your boy King hanging out with you here. Thank you so much for joining us. We got ELS in the chat. We've got Crafty in the chat. ELS says, hey, ELS Claus is here and he has arrived to bring his picks and happiness to everybody. And I certainly hope that you have that same energy because we all know the holiday season is here and it's really fun. And if you want to be a little giving on this holiday season, you can do so by giving in and hitting that like button on the screen, wherever you see. If you're on your phone, on your computer, hell, even on television, get that remote up there, hit the little thumbs up, boop, there you go. Helps us out. I have no idea. The YouTube algorithm is always a little wonky, but I think it helps. So, it can't hurt, I suppose. So it's not bad. Go ahead, hit that like button. Hit the share button. Let people know that this channel exists, that this show is on. You can go ahead and do that. That helps us out as well. And, of course, if you're brand new here and have never hit that subscribe button before, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell as you're on the road to 1,000 subscribers to hopefully be monetized here on this lovely platform known as YouTube. Thank you so much, everybody, for that. If you want to help us out a little bit more, you can do that a little bit more directly. If you want to go ahead, you can go visit our links. I lost my train of thought for a second. You can go visit our links in the top of the chat or in the description below for our donation station and our merch store. Donation station, donate whatever you'd like. Of course, we appreciate any and all donations that are given. Want to get your name in the ticker, you got to do more than $110, as right now that spot belongs to our good friend Pecan, our resident Saints fan. He's given us $110. He's been in the leader in the clubhouse for well over a year now. So if you want to go ahead and try to replace Pecan, you have to donate more than $110, but that is there. Thank you so very much if you decide to do that. Also, we have our merch store, which is available, same place, bit.ly/staytunedmerch, or just go to the link in the top of the chat or in the description below. That will help as well. We've got shirts, we've got hoodies, we've got mugs, and we actually have coffee. The Danny Dimes blend is still in there. More is going to be coming soon. We have a lot. We have a lot there. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, we have a new Notre Dame shirt in there for burning it all down. We've got our F the Ref shirt is in there. Comes pre-pixelated, so you're going to be fine with that. We have our Jets just end the season shirt with their starting, what's his name? Is it Brady Cook? Whoever it is, they're starting. Jets they're going to try to get that number one pick, it seems like. And that's fine. That's something to look forward to. For the New York Jets. Right now, the Giants currently have that pick. And some Giants fans are being like, oh, yeah, the Giants are going to win meaningless games and we're going to lose the number one pick. We don't need the number one pick, though. We have our quarterback. We have the people, and we can get other players lower down. So, like, I'm not whole on this. Oh, let's try to take these games and lose them so that we go ahead and we don't get the number one. Like, when we needed to get a quarterback, sure. But I think everybody's fairly comfortable with Jackson Dart leading the Giants in the future. So, I have no problem with that. But yeah, so if you want to go visit those links, you can go ahead, top of the chat and in the description below. As I mentioned again, another Thursday night loss last night as Tampa Bay blows a 14-point lead late in the fourth quarter. Terrible clock management, terrible play calling, terrible coaching, and terrible execution all around for Tampa Bay in that fourth quarter, and it allowed the Falcons to come back, score 2 touchdowns, missed both 2-point conversions. Because again, I was like, why is Atlanta going for 2 points on that first touchdown when they were down 14 points? They went for 2, missed it. Don't know why they did that. And then they're down 8, so you have to go for 2. They score again, missed the 2-point conversion where they had to, so now they're still down 2. And then Tampa Bay still finds a way to screw it up. Poor clock management, poor play calling, and it ends up giving Atlanta a chance to get in field goal range. They kick the field goal up and good, and they win the game by 29-28. Jesus Christ, I just can't get these Thursday night games. It is the curse. Whatever my pick is for Thursday, it's like the Brandon Perna curse wheel. Whoever I pick on Thursday night is going to lose. Sometimes in the most spectacular way possible, like Tampa Bay did last night. But that seems to be where we're going. Lloyd says, "Yo, where's the roasted crow?" I was going to say it seemed like it was all Tampa's game for that night. Lloyd seemed fairly confident in it. So many people seemed fairly confident in it. And then there we go. Crafty in the chat says, to be fair, both coaches did all they could to throw that game. Touche. I was going to say, it seems like Todd Bowles ended up getting the screwing up just a little bit more at the end than like the fact that Raheem Morris is going to get off the hook for some of the real questionable play calling and coaching decisions in that game is kind of upset. And again, the Falcons, their record is not great, and he should be let go at the end of the season. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. ELS in the chat says, I think I drink too much eggnog because I'm too festive. There's no such thing as too much eggnog, especially if it's the good eggnog. You know, got a little bit of that bourbon in there. Very nice, very good. Not that I'm advocating for anything like that. I'm just saying, if you're going to drink eggnog, drink proper eggnog. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I have to say on that matter. But all that being said, enough of my yammering, enough of the jibba jabba, as they say, as Mr. T would say. Let's go ahead. Let's jump on over. Let's take a look at what we have going on with these picks. Obviously, as you can see, I had picked Tampa Bay last night, and that did not go as well. So let's see if we can pick a little bit better here for the rest of these Week 15 games. We've got the Browns and the Bears coming up here. This is the first one we have here. I'm going to go with the Bears. Again, the Browns lost to the Titans last week, giving up 31 points. With the Browns defense, still gave up 31 points to Cam Ward and a Titans team that obviously is not that great. Chicago, again, Caleb Williams needs to play better, but Chicago right now is playing a lot better overall than the Cleveland Browns are, even if the Browns defense is good. Myles Garrett looking to get that sack record. He's probably going to get it, if not this week, next week. You know, it will come here for him. But one man can't make a team a winner, and as you can see, the Browns sitting at 3-10. Myles Garrett, as good as he is, he can't play offense. He can't play quarterback. He can't play receiver, and he can't play running back. So that is just that just is what it is. I think it's clear. Chicago, the Bears, going to win there in Chicago at Soldier Field. 96% of the people picking that way. Next up, we've got the Ravens and the Bengals. And I got to tell you, everything's telling me to pick the Ravens because it's like their desperation spot, very desperation spot. I don't know why I stuck like that. But Ravens are in a desperation spot. The Bengals season is pretty much over, especially after that Buffalo loss. What a crushing loss for them. Bengals are at home. It sounds weird to say, but I feel more confident picking the 4-9 Bengals at this point than the Ravens, the way that the Ravens and Lamar Jackson have been playing. We've been getting playoff Lamar in the regular season. Not great. That is not what you want to see happen. And so looking at it from that perspective, I'm going to go with the Bengals. I really am. And that's, it just feels that way. Now, again, the Ravens can go in there. They might blow the doors off them. They might find their mojo. They might get their swag back, whatever you want to call. But it just might work, and we will see if that can go ahead and happen. But I feel more confident picking Cincinnati. 59% of the people picking Cincinnati as well. Only 41% on the Ravens. So the Bengals getting a majority of the people on their side. Irish in the chat says, I think the Bengals are going to somehow win the division, which you'd figured right now they're still only they're at what are they 5-9? What is it? What are they at? 4-9. They're at 4-9. You figured, there's no way. There's no way they could do that. They in that division, they absolutely still can. Lloyd says me's trying to say desperation sounded like me naming a new Star Wars character. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Next up, we've got the Cardinals and the Texans. Not too much to really discuss about this game. Texans defense is great. The Cardinals have been struggling, to say the least. They are 3-10, even with Jacoby Brissett back there. It seems like there's going to be a pretty hard reset there in the desert when it comes to the Cardinals in the offseason. Kyler Murray's probably gone. Maybe there's going to be a coaching change with Gannon out. It seems like there's going to be a rather big shakeup there in the desert coming up in the offseason. The Texans looking to keep pace there with the Jaguars in the AFC South. Sorry about that. Again, not too much to talk about here. 98% of the people on the Texans, 98% of the people are, I'm going to presume, pretty right here. Texans over the Cardinals. Irish says Perna just cursed the Steelers with the curse wheel. Well, as we saw, it hit the Steelers on the curse wheel, and then T.J. Watt has the hole in his lung. So that curse wheel is a menace. It is a menace to society. It did it to the Giants earlier in the year, too. ELS says that Watt is being released from the hospital today. We did see that, but he has been ruled out for Monday night. He will not be playing Monday night. When we get to the Monday night game, we will talk about that, yes. But so we have the Houston Texans. I picked Houston over the Cardinals. Next up, Jaguars versus Jets. This seems like a game where the Jets will somehow inexplicably win it because the Jaguars are just that inconsistent. I can't go that way, though. The Jets are indeed a mess. They did win. What was that, 3 games in a row a couple games ago? Now they've lost again. They got crushed. They got crushed at home by both the Falcons and the Dolphins. Now they're on the road to Jacksonville, starting a rookie undrafted quarterback. Is it Brady Cook? Is that the kid's name? I don't know why I forgot. Oh, I lost that there. I'm not sure. Why am I not sure about that? Let me see. Yes, it is Brady Cook. All right, so at least I know that. Starting Brady Cook, undrafted rookie quarterback for the Jets. And in the time that he had to spend in the game against Miami, did not look great, especially in those ugly Gotham uniforms that they had. It just doesn't seem like nothing's going to go right there for the Jets. So, yeah. Jaguars. So, the Jaguars and Houston trying to keep pace with each other. Both of them are playing opponents that they should beat. That's what it's going to be like, and I'm going to go that way. Coming up next, we've got the Chargers. Chargers, go. They're going to be playing against a Chiefs team that is now mathematically eliminated from divisional competition. They cannot win the AFC West. We will have a new AFC West champion for the first time in 9 seasons. Right now, it appears it will be the Broncos, just based on sheer luck, because the Broncos are not an 11-2 team, but they sit at 11-2. So, as Bill Parcells once said, you are what your record says you are. I still kind of disagree with that because I don't think they're really good, but that's just me saying that right there. Right now, though, this game is very close because the Chargers are, again, injured. They don't play particularly well, but they just did beat the Eagles on Monday night. As hooker by crook and in overtime as it was, they did beat the Eagles. The Eagles are going through their own troubles. The Chiefs going through their own troubles. And another loss is going to put the playoffs almost out of reach for the Kansas City Chiefs there. And so looking between the Chargers and the Chiefs, listen, I'm sure nothing would make Taylor Swift happier than having Travis home a little early for the holiday seasons. There a little bit, it'll be just a little past New Year's, and then Travis gets to come home and spend all day just giving her that redwood in the bed. And that's fine. All the new Taylor Swift stuff came out, by the way. That docuseries, pretty good. Pretty good. I'll give it that. I had watched it with Pepper Jack. She, of course, is jumping all over it. There's a whole bunch of other Taylor Swift stuff happening too. I got to let everybody know what's going on in the Taylor Swift world. I know you guys are begging to know what's going on in the Taylor Swift world. Yeah, so it's starting to feel like Travis is going to be able to go home a little bit early this year, and maybe this will be the last year for him, as he's going to hang up those cleats and just be a listen. There's worse things in this world than being a house husband to Taylor Swift. I can tell you that right now. So, with that being said, go Chargers, go. Taking the Chargers over the Chiefs in that game at Arrowhead. Next up, one of the games of the week. I think that's pretty obvious to say. They're the Buffalo Bills going to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Going to Foxborough, massive toe shits. To take on the New England Patriots sitting at 11-2. Drake May coming off a bye week. Hopefully the Bills can remove Christian Ellis's knees from him and remove that gentleman from the field of play for the safety and benefit of all other NFL players. So that's going to be first and foremost. That's what I'm rooting for there. So go Buffalo, and trying to go ahead and have some player justice against Christian Ellis. I'll say that first of all. But when it comes to the actual game, boy, Buffalo needed a miracle 4-minute span to beat the Bengals at home. Now they got to go up to New England again. New England already beat Buffalo in Orchard Park. Now they're playing at home with a little bit more of a season under the belt. Drake May playing absolutely insane. Their defense is playing better. The Patriots really have started to gel here. Hard to really pick against them. It really is, as much as I hate Christian Ellis. So, rooting on one end for the Bills to take care of the Christian Ellis problem. Certainly hope for that. But on the other end, I think the Patriots win, and I think with this win, they will wrap up the AFC East and become champions once again. I think we've only had a 4-year or 5-year break from the Patriots being AFC East champions. And I think Daddy's home, baby. Daddy's home. Patriots, they beat the Bills 49%. Only 49%. It's really right down the middle. 49% picking the Patriots, 51% of the people on the Bills. I'm going to go with the Patriots on this one, but it is as evenly split as you can get without it being just a straight-up 50-50. Lloyd says he's got the Bills winning. ELS says, I think the Bills game will go to overtime. That's a good chance on that one. Lloyd says this is something that'll going back to the Chargers-Chiefs game, you think that this is a game that the Chargers end up losing. So that, I mean, the Chargers, if they want to be solid, they want to really kind of plant their foot and say, we are going to make the playoffs. They have to win that game in Kansas City. So I do think the Chargers win that one, and I do think New England wins that one against the Bills, and I think they wrap up the AFC East. So they're here in Week 15. Next up, a game that has no implications other than draft picks, perhaps. It is the New York Football Giants and the Washington Redskins at MetLife Stadium. Giants are going to wear their legacy uniforms, looking all nice and shiny like the 80s, like the Bill Parcells era. Some people think we should go back to that. Iffy on it. I like the New York. If they just go back to the gray pants, if they went back to the way the Giants uniforms were when they were playing in the Super Bowl with Eli Manning, that's the uniform that they need to go back to. The white pants look like shit. Stop it with the white pants. White pants look like shit. Gray pants. Gray pants all the time. Let's go. But again, here's a game. Washington 3-10, Giants 2-11. Giants, I think, have a real good opportunity here to get a win. If you can't beat this particular Washington Redskins team, as injured as they are, as in disarray as they are, again, they're not having the greatest season. We know the Giants aren't having the greatest season, but this is a chance again for Mike Kafka, do a little bit of auditioning, see the rest of this team out here, do a little bit of auditioning. Other coaches on the staff do auditions for next year, see whether it's with the Giants or somewhere else. I think you're going to see the Giants, the coaching staff, the players give their honest 100% best, and we're going to see what happens there. Because of that, I am going to go pick the Giants. 75%, 3/4 of the people are picking the Giants over Washington. That scares me a little bit, but I'm going to go with logic and reason and say the Giants win this game. Usually logic and reason don't serve me well, though, so the Giants may lose this game, but we'll see. For this one, I do have the Giants over the Redskins. Next up, the Eagles and Raiders. Now listen here. If I can, Eagles fans, come here. Let's have a little chat. I know I'm a Giants fan. You know, I talk to Giants. What does the Giants fan know? Anything like that. I got it. Trust me. Okay, I'm friends with a couple of Eagles fans. Good guys. Good rational guys. One of the few rational Eagles fans out there of your ilk. If you can't get your shit together and beat the goddamn, I want to curse so bad, these flippin' Raiders. If you can't get your shit together and beat the Raiders, pack up your shit and go home now. Because you don't belong on an NFL field and you don't belong in the playoffs. I'll let you know that right now. You're going to make the playoffs by default because nobody else is going to win the NFC East right now other than you. The Cowboys might have had a shot, but then they lost again, so we don't know. Get your shit together. Don't pull the Broncos and barely beat the Raiders because even that's not going to help your fan base. You got to beat the Raiders, and you have to beat them soundly. And you do that. I'm going to trust that you can. Raiders, what's the spread on this game? Let me see if I can find that. Eagles by 12. Oh no, I hit the wrong one. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick the Eagles. Again, they're 12. Hold on, I gotta fix this because I had some earlier picks there. I don't want to give anybody ideas here. But I had picked the Eagles earlier. 12-point favorites. Here's the question. Do the Eagles cover the spread? That's going to be interesting. ELS in the chat says, my brain wants the Raiders to win, but there's no way that the Raiders beat the Eagles. Lloyd says he's picking the Eagles. Crafty says, Kenny Pickett coming in and lighting up his former team that he won a Super Bowl with last year in Philly would be hilarious. Do we know if he's going to play or not? Yeah, Geno's hurt, so Kenny is going to start. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, Kenny Pickett starting for the Raiders. Boy, Eagles. Eagles, you can't do it. You can't do it, Eagles. Oh, Eagles, if you screw this up, oh, no. You can't do it, Eagles. You can't screw this up. Eli says, yeah, Kenny Pickett for this week. That's it. Irish says, hey, listen, the only pick we disagree on right now is the Chiefs versus Charger game so far. So, hey, great minds think alike, Irish. Great minds think alike. Next up, we've got the Packers and we've got the Broncos. Listen, it's time to put my money where my mouth is. I've been talking some serious shit about the Denver Broncos. They're not 11-2 team. They're not a 10-2 team. They're not a 9-2 team. They're not an 8-2 team. They're a terrible team. They shouldn't be there. They're winning by the skin of their teeth and by luck or bad calls and whatever. I've been talking shit when it comes to the Broncos. I've been calling everybody's overthrow a boverthrow. I have been smearing shit all over the Bronco, all over that cyber horse. Now they're playing the Packers. They're in my I have them above the Broncos in my top 12. Packers sitting at 9-3-1. They're playing better football than they have previously this year. They seem to be getting a little bit more consistent. Is this the game where the Broncos finally get exposed? Or is this where we realize maybe the Packers still aren't there? They don't play a full 60, and the Broncos, again, somehow, by hook or by crook, get a win over a team that people are going to say, look, Packers, 9-3-1, great team. Great team, and the Broncos won. You got to say shit now. You can't say shit now. It worries me because the Packers have been and shown to be a little bit inconsistent in their play this year. And Jordan Love had a great game last game against the Bears. Can he maintain that? Or does he go back to playing like mid-season form Jordan Love, which is not great? And especially against that Broncos defense, mid-season form Jordan Love is not going to do great. We need Jordan Love from like the last game. Maybe the last 2 games. We'll see that. Get a little bit more consistent with Jordan Love. Can we get that from him? If that happens, I think the Packers win. I think the Packers win going away. Again, I think if there's a game that's going to expose the Broncos, this is it. So kind of on, I think the Packers will win anyway, but also on I kind of need the Packers to win because I've been talking some shit about the Broncos. I'm going to pick the Packers. And if the Broncos win, then I got to shut up. I got to shut the fuck up. If the Broncos win, I got to shut my mouth. I can't keep on saying that the Broncos are, they're lucky. They're not really. What am I going to say? They're not a real 12-2 team. They're going to be 10 games above 500. I'm going to sit there and say, they're not really that good. Like, at some point, you got to be like, whether they're good or not, they're winning the games, and that's at the end of the day. If you look goofy but win the games, you win the games. So going with Green Bay, I think this is where finally we get to see the Broncos be exposed. But if not, boy, it's going to be talk about eating crow, Lloyd. I'm going to be eating heapings of helpings of just sweet, delicious roasted crow. That's just going to happen. Next up, we have the Lions and the Rams. Lions got to keep winning. They got to try to keep pace with the Packers and the Bears in the NFC North, but they got to do it against what many people consider to be one of, if not the best team in the NFL, the Los Angeles Rams, out at SoFi. This is going to be an interesting one. This is going to be a fun one. Can the Lions pull it together against this team? Can the Rams not have a letdown like they did against the Panthers? Was that Panthers game the last time where the Rams were like, oh, boy, we didn't play well. We're not doing that again. Let's go ahead and get going. Let's go ahead and we're going to just run through everybody now. I'd like to pick the Lions. I like Dan Campbell. I like Jared Goff. I like rooting for the Lions. I like Detroit. You know? Hard nose, scrabbled, blue nose, blue collar city, whatever. You know, blue nose. I don't know why you have blue noses. And it's cold. It's cold in Detroit. You can get some blue noses there. But blue collar city, down on its luck, dilapidated buildings and abandoned neighborhoods, but still, it's like it's the underdog. You're rooting for Detroit. Detroit as a city is an underdog. The Lions have been so bad for so long that they're actually getting good now. It's like, yeah, you really are rooting for the Lions. That being said, got to go with logic on this one, and logic says the Rams win at home at SoFi. Again, they could have another letdown game like they did against the Panthers, but I'm going to bet against that, and I'm going to say it's the Rams with the win. Next up, we have what is for first place in the South. If the Panthers win, they have full and sole control of first place in the NFC South. If they lose, it will still be the Buccaneers hanging on by the skin of their teeth to the division lead. And then the 2 of the last 3 games of the season will be Panthers versus Bucs. And that'll be right there for the division in those 2 games. Interested to see this. They're playing in New Orleans, in the Dome, which is a tough place to play. The Saints already beat Carolina in Carolina this year. And like I said, the Saints play hard every single game, whether they have the talent to really win a lot of these games or not. They play hard every game. They went to Carolina, won there. They went to Tampa and won there. Now they're in the Dome, at home, loud crowd, and that's it. The fans show up in New Orleans no matter what, good, bad, and different. People are there to root on their Aints or the Saints, whoever's coming up there. Shuck has been looking to get a little bit better in each one of these games you're seeing. The Saints can absolutely win this game 100%. I am going to go with the Panthers. I think the Panthers see the opportunity that's in front of them. I don't think they're going to let it go. They should win this game. It would not shock me at all, though, if the Saints win this game. And then you're talking about what an ending to the NFC South we have coming up this season, where you'd have the Panthers and the Bucs 2 of the last 3 weeks, and those games are going to be for the NFC South title. Strap in. It's going to be a fun one. Looking back in comments here, Lloyd says he's going to say Detroit. Lloyd says the Broncos are going to get exposed in the playoffs. Eli says, King, one thing this Broncos team feels like last year's Chiefs. I don't know. I see a lot of people have been saying that because they've been winning like games. It's like, oh, how are they winning these games by hook or by crook and getting there? Like maybe a little bit, but it feels a little less like that because even in those games, like Mahomes was still playing well, and Kelsey wasn't. Kelsey had kind of disappeared last year, kind of like he's done this year too, unfortunately. But they were missing a lot of their pieces. Rashee Rice was out for the year with the injury, and he probably would have been out for a long time with the suspension anyway, which he was out for the early part of this season with. So there was a lot of other pieces there, but they still kind of managed on that end. And so while they were winning the games, and it was like closer games, and some of the games, again, like the Bengals game was based on a call, and other games were based on a block kick at the end against the Broncos and things of that nature. It still didn't feel like, oh man, the Chiefs are, they're not as great as what they say. It's like, no, it felt like, boy, the Chiefs are a team that is, even when they're not playing great, still find ways to win. With the Broncos, it really feels different. And maybe it's because they don't have the history that the Chiefs have. The Chiefs had, 8 or 9 years of winning behind them. So it's just like, yeah, man, the Chiefs are going to find any way to win. Where the Broncos, it's like, boy, if it's not for that defense, like, where is this team? Because Bo Nix can't throw himself out of a wet paper bag. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it is just perception on my part, but I don't see that. I don't know. Lloyd says he's picking Detroit. Of course you do, Lloyd. You're a Detroit man. And Irish in the chat, he says, I think the Lions are going to lose this game, but still get in as the 7th seed, and that could be. Next up, the Titans and the Niners. Not going to spend too much time on this game. Titans with the win against the Browns last week, but the Niners, again, coming off a bye. Does that make them any healthier? I have no idea. But despite everything, the Niners are just a good team. They're sitting there at 9-4. I feel like they're going to be 10-4 after this game. 99% of the people on the Niners count me as one of the 99%ers because I am there with the Niners. Next up, this one's going to be the interesting one. Ken Phillip Rivers at 44 years old. Grandpa Rivers coming off the bench. He was a semifinalist for the Hall of Fame. They're going to reset his clock if he takes one snap in this game, which is unfair. I don't think they should do that. But they're going to reset his clock. He's a Hall of Fame semifinalist, and they're going to reset his clock if he takes a snap. But can he bring some stability to the Colts? Can he get them back on track after the Daniel Jones injury? And I saw some people say that the Colts, they're not doing. They just want Anthony Richardson gone. They're not even going to try to let him play. And it's like, you guys know he has a broken orbital bone, right? It doesn't matter if he's broken out. They wouldn't have done nothing anyway because they hate him because they're racist in their Indianapolis or whatever was trying to be said. Yeah, no, Anthony Richardson has a fairly significant orbital bone injury to the point where I don't know if he's going to play again. Like, it's starting to look like that for old AR. So, seeing those kind of reactions on online, Cam Newton coming out and saying he feels like he got slapped in the face by them picking Phillip Rivers and not even giving him a call. I mean, some of the things was kind of funny. But can Phillip Rivers provide just That's it. I don't think he has to come in and be great. I don't think he has to come in and be, superstar Phillip Rivers, which I don't know if he can do anymore, honestly. He just needs to be stability. Hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor, get those little 5 to 10 yard passes out, get a screen pass out. That's all you need to do, and just be a calming, stabilizing force on that offense. Can they do that? And then can they do that on the road in Seattle, one of the loudest buildings in the NFL? I think the Colts play better in this game. I think they keep it competitive. But if you're going to ask me right now to pick against the Seahawks, the way they've been playing these last couple games, I can't do it. I've got to go with the Seahawks. It would be a great story. I would like to see that happen. I might be even rooting for that to happen because I am rooting for the Colts. I like the Colts. Got a little bit of the Daniel Jones rooting interest in there, even though now he's injured. But, how do you not root for Phillip Rivers and the Colts? You got to you got a little bit of a rooting interest there. But, boy, coming back and your first game is going to be on the road in Seattle against this Seattle team as they've been playing in one of the loudest buildings in the NFL. I can't do it. I can't do it. Going to go with Seattle. 96% of the people on Seattle as well. Sunday night. A game I've seen a lot of people begging to be flexed, but with some of the other games that are out there, Fox and CBS were protecting some of those games and making sure that nobody picked those up. So we've got Vikings and we've got Cowboys on Sunday night. Cowboys still fighting for a playoff spot. It's a little dicey, but they're still alive, still sniffing it, if you will. At 6-6-1, Vikings at 5-8. Tall order, not officially out, not mathematically out, but for all intents and purposes, probably out. Again, they had a 31-0 win against the Redskins last week. Something tells me that's not going to be the case this week down in Dallas. They're going to be playing the Cowboys, who have played better. And even though they lost against the Lions on last Thursday night, this feels like a game that the Cowboys can win, that they should win. The offense is playing well enough. Dak is playing well enough. If George Pickens gets his head in the game, it feels like this is a game that the Cowboys can win, that they should win. And that's the other question, too. ELS brings up a great point. Big question for this game is J.J. McCarthy. Can he be consistent? Can he show 2 games in a row that he can play well enough, like an NFL quarterback? Can he do that? And we'll find out. Right now, again, I'm somebody who says you have to show me first that you can be consistent on a week-to-week basis before I'm going to start picking you in these kind of iffy games. Right now, if we're going to judge it based on quarterback versus quarterback, it's got to be the Cowboys. And while the Cowboys' defense isn't any great shakes, and I think the Vikings' defense is better than Dallas's defense has improved. And if J.J. McCarthy reverts back to the J.J. McCarthy of who he was before last week against the Redskins, to his basically base model self, it feels like Cowboys getting 88% of the picks here on this particular site. Vikings only getting 12. I'm going to go with Dallas on this one. Hate to go with the majority on a lot of this, but it just seems to make the most sense. So sometimes logic does prevail. And then on Monday night, there we go. We have the Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers going to wear their all-black color rush uniforms against the Dolphins. Dolphins, again, surprisingly, not out of the playoff race. Are the Dolphins sitting at 6-7 after we all thought early on, after like week 5, week 6, it was like, oh, Dolphin season's done. They're going to fire everybody. They fired Chris Greer. We figured Mike McDaniel was going to be gone. We figured Tua was gone. They're just going to clean house. Everybody's going to be gone. Out of there. Here they are. Scrappy little Dolphins sitting at 6-7, still sniffing it in the AFC playoff picture, going up against the Steelers, sitting at 7-6 at the top of the AFC North again, after they beat the Ravens last week, as they're at 6-7, and the Ravens are at Steelers are 7-6, while the Ravens are at 6-7, and kind of doing their little bit own collapsing now. We know the Steelers are not going to have T.J. Watt. He is out with that unfortunate hole in the lung. He got a bit of the Tyrod Taylor lung treatment at the facility. If anybody remembers Tyrod Taylor, he got stuck right in his lung before he was going to start week 1 a couple years ago, and that gave Herbert his first start as a rookie, and they just kind of never looked back from there. Same thing kind of happened there with TJ. He got some kind of puncture treatment on his lung in the facility, then complained about pain. They went to the hospital. Turns out, hey, got a hole in your lung. So they had to go for surgery, had a procedure. He has been released, but he will be out, and we don't know how long the timeline is for him to get back. So right now, as it stands, no TJ Watt. To be fair, the Steelers' defense, though, has not played well at all this season anyway. So is that a minus? Is it? I mean, I don't think you could call it a plus, but is it really a minus? Is it a detriment to the defense on a defense that hasn't played well all this year? TJ has had his moments, but he hasn't played, I think, nearly as well as people thought he should. Maybe the expectations have not been met, at least by TJ Watt, and most certainly by the rest of the Steelers' defense expectations have not been met. And then you got the Dolphins. They smell it. They're, as I mentioned, they're sniffing it. They are close to a playoff spot when you didn't think there was, and all of a sudden you got a team like that believing that, hey, they can sneak in, maybe get a playoff spot. Maybe Mike McDaniel saves his job. Maybe Tua saves his job. Maybe the Dolphins aren't quite dead and as over yet as everybody had pronounced them to be. Interesting dynamic here for this game. Part of me wants to say Pittsburgh. Other part of me does want to say Miami. I think the Dolphins have a lot here, and they can win this game. They can go up there. They went to MetLife. Everybody said they can't win in the cold. They went into MetLife. It was, I believe, below 42 degrees, and they put a whooping on the New York Jetropolitans. To be fair, a lot of people could put a whooping on the Jets, so it's not a massive thing. This one's tough. 84% of the people on the Steelers, 16% of the Dolphins. Do I buck the trend? Do I say I see something that others don't? I really don't. I don't have that much of an insight. Oh, boy. Oh, it's tough. Oh, it's tough. Oh, it's tough. Who do I go? Oh, who do I go with? You know what? We're going to go with the coin. We're going to go with the coin. Let's get the coin up here. We have the coin. Heads, it will be the Dolphins. Tails, it will be the Steelers. Heads, it is the Dolphins. We go with the coin. The almighty coin has called it. Picking the Dolphins. Don't blame me. Blame the coin. Blame the coin. I'm picking the Dolphins on Monday night over the Steelers. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There is our little preview and prediction for Week 15. ELS, he's got his picks for the week. He's going to pick the Bears. We'll run through this again just so that we could all see, and I'll match up with everybody. He's picking the Bears over the Browns, as did I. He's picking the Bengals over the Ravens, as did I. He's picking the Bills. I'm sorry, he's picking the Chargers over the Chiefs, which I did as well. He's picking the Bills over the Patriots. I picked the Patriots over the Bills. He's picking the Giants over the Redskins. I did that as well. He's picking the Raiders over the Eagles. Are you out of your goddamn mind? ELS picking the Raiders over the Eagles, picking the Jaguars over the Jets. That kind of makes sense. Picking the Texans over the Cardinals. Yes, same as I. Picking the Packers over the Broncos, as am I. Picking the Rams, as am I. Picking the Panthers over the Saints. Picking the Niners over the Titans, as am I. Kind of similar here on the picks, picking Seattle over the Colts, picking Dallas over the Vikings. And look at ELS picking the Dolphins over Pittsburgh as well. Ira saying, I'm going to pick the Dolphins because of Perna and Watt being out. There you go. Go with the curse wheel. The curse wheel said the Steelers are going to be cursed, and the coin picked Miami. So that's two things going up against the Steelers. And I think the Steelers actually got the wheel of mid on the Rubber Room Discord, if I'm not mistaken. So that's another thing, too, against the Steelers. So maybe the universe is trying to tell us, Dolphins. Pick the Dolphins, you fat dumb bastard. Maybe that's what. I don't know why the universe has a bit of a New York accent, but it does. ELS says, something tells me that A-Chain is going to have a huge game against the Steelers. Again, that Steelers run defense is a problem, so that could very well be. ELS is also predicting a Kenny Pickett legacy game. I don't know about that. That one is, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know. Ira says, I don't need to put my picks on here. We only disagreed on the Chiefs. That was the only pick that we disagreed on, and that's fine. Again, I think that one is kind of that's one of the toss-up games. That really is a toss-up game with the Chargers and the Chiefs. If the Chargers can just don't turn the ball over like they did so many times against the Eagles. Don't turn the ball over, and almost kind of like the Texans did in the last game. Now, the Chargers defense is not as good as the Texans, but let the Chiefs almost beat themselves. Let their own desperation, thoughts, and play calling and actions, let the Chiefs beat themselves, and then you pick up the pieces. I think if they do that, I think the Chargers can win that game. So we'll see. But, yeah, there we go. Week 15. Dude, we're almost done with the season. Remember when we couldn't wait to get here? Remember we had the countdown? And we were trying to come down here. It was like, oh, we're doing all these different things. Can't wait for the season. Can't wait for the season. Can't wait for the season. And now here we are. We are week 15, almost done with the season. After this week, it's 3 more weeks. 16, 17, 18. That's it. And then we are done with NFL football, regular season football, and we move on to the playoffs. I'll probably start covering hockey once the season ends that way. And we'll obviously try to keep doing these lives and just do Q&As. Maybe we'll just hang out, even if it's just for a half an hour. We'll sit there and we'll have some fun. But, yeah, so that's going to do it here for the Week 15 Friday forecast, preview, and predictions. Thank you so much for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports. We'll be joining you again on Sunday at 1 p.m. for the New York Giants versus the Washington Redskins at MetLife Stadium. Giants are going to be wearing their legacy uniforms. That's going to be fun. And we can go ahead and enjoy that. If you liked any part of this show, go ahead, please hit that like button, hit that share button, let people know this channel exists. And, of course, if you're brand new here, hit that subscribe button. Let us help us on our road to 1,000 subscribers and hopefully being monetized on this wonderful, great platform known as the YouTube, owned by Google and Google owned by Alphabet, and our corporate overlords is fine. Please just, help this humble servant who has got a bum leg and diabetes and all that other nonsense. Help me. Help you to help me get a job and be somewhat of a less loser. I'm still going to be a loser, even if we get monetized here on YouTube. I'm still going to be a massive loser. Bald-headed, missing a tooth kind of loser. That's going to be me. But I'll be a little less of a loser. And you can help with that, and that's always a good thing to do. So thank you so much for that. Again, also, if you want to help out a little bit more directly, we have our donation station and our merch store links down in the description below. Same with our Discord. Come into the Discord, say hi, say hello, say how you doing, join the community. A little quiet right now, a little small community, but you can go ahead and join us. And we do a lot of crossover with the Rubber Room as well. And I'll put that link in the Discord there so you can join over there as well. As it's fun over there. It's fun with us. It's fun everywhere. Wherever King goes, there be fun had. I think. We'll see. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Army versus Navy tomorrow. Enjoy that as well. Go Army. Beat Navy. And I certainly hope that is the case. But either way, thank you to those men and women in service uniforms and to the men who will be playing tomorrow in that game for your service and for all that you do for this country. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Until Sunday at 1 p.m., where the New York Giants and the Redskins will go ahead and clash at MetLife Stadium. My name is King. This has been the Friday Forecast on Stay Tuned Sports. Have a great rest of your Friday, everybody. Adios.